Hey, welcome back to Data 434 Data Visualization Winter 2026. It's week 9 and it's project time and wrapping things up. So, reminder where we're at. There was some reading and examples of doing visualization of higher dimensional data by basically reducing everything to a two-dimensional or at most three-dimensional space using principal component analysis. But most importantly, there was the project proposals. And project proposals, again, uh, looked like this. Looking for, of course, four major things. The big idea, a data source to allow you to make make charts supporting your big idea, identification of who your audience is, who are you making this for, and then, of course, a summary of the value system or the goals your project is trying to pursue. Are you trying to convince people to change how they do something, to make a certain kind of decision, or just to be interested in a particular phenomenon and why? That's where we're at. Many of you, about a dozen of you, have posted your project proposals. This is great. And uh, if you've posted a project proposal, you've now been put in a project group. This is a smaller group that you can um, relate to. And the next step in your project is, of course, coming up with a storyboard, which is, in some sense, a rough draft with placeholders of what you want your presentation to actually look like. That's the main work of this week. There's another reading from NAFLIC. We're going to go through the rest of the book. A couple of links here to storyboarding, reverse storyboarding ideas from her blog. Uh, and there are, of course, links off of these to a variety of other tips, if you will. This is all in the sort of realm of useful ways of thinking about what's going on. So we have storyboarding, and of course, uh, one of her perspectives is that you don't necessarily have to start with your software. Frankly, if you want to start storyboarding by hand, as she's illustrating here with Post-it notes, that's fine. And you can also start storyboarding just with PowerPoint or the presentation option in G Suite. But the point is that um, you're really just preparing some ideas, putting them in an order, playing around with what they are, and how best to tell your story. So this is kind of her entree into that. Another idea which I think is useful, maybe useful as you start building out. Maybe it'll be more useful next week when you're actually preparing your draft. Is reverse storyboarding, where you basically think about how your presentation flows from a perspective of if you're going to build a storyboard after having seen the presentation, what would you put on it? How would you describe what's actually there in the presentation? So she has some, interesting links here, horizontal logic, um, and what is that? And so if you were going to read through just the titles of your slides, of your storyboard frames, then you're looking at horizontal logic. So that's a way of sort of summarizing the overall story. This is as opposed to vertical logic, where you're actually thinking about what's going on in a particular slide, in a particular image chart that you've created. How does it relate to what's going on? How does it relate to itself, the different elements there? So that horizontal looking across the range of things in your storyboard, and then the vertical, which is actually drilling down. So again, tips, little inspiration, some other links you can follow here. Um, of course, as we look at um, what's going on here, project development storyboard review. So once again, you need to have your big idea, which can change. A 3-minute story, which is at no more than 2 paragraphs. And then a storyboard, PowerPoint slide deck's okay. And some reflection about what is the desired user experience. So as people look at your presentation, what are you hoping they're going to take away from key images, the whole thing? What are your thoughts there? And then it'd be great to have one draft chart made from your data. So you have to identify your data in the in your proposal, and now you want to take your data and start making actual visuals from it. And this is a chart that you need to make, not something somebody else made that you're making a copy of. So anyway, that's what should be in this storyboard. Your restated big idea, your 3-minute story, the storyboard itself, and then a use case description of what a user is supposed to experience based on the things in your storyboard, and an example chart. All right. Next week, after completing this, you're going to take that storyboard or wireframe presentation, and you're actually going to turn it into a project draft. And so you're going to need all your charts, your reference materials, and the narrative elements that you want to put on. And that's what you're going to present. And so both of these are things you share in your project group, and you're responsible for both sharing your own work and looking over your colleagues' work in your group, and saying something about what you see and what they've done. It's best to give positive reinforcement about things that work, things that you like, things that are attractive, things that make sense. But you also then want to ask questions about things you don't understand or that you feel don't make sense given the stated objectives of the big idea and the 3-minute story. So that's the next 2 weeks of the class. After that, finals week, you're just taking that feedback and finalizing your presentation and writing the narrative that goes with. And so just to review those, the presentation itself, PowerPoint slide deck, or a Jupyter notebook file for those of you who want to write more code and present that way. That works for me. And then the project narrative is asking you to reflect about the process and what happened. So you'll need an abstract, citation of your sources, description of what you created, and then a full description of what you hope your audience gets from it, along with a narrative of the experience of trying to tell this story. So that's the overview of what's left in the course. Now, I'd say there's a significant number of folks who are not current, don't have project proposals in yet, maybe haven't even made a bunch of the sort of foundational charts that I was hoping you'd make. For those people, it's time to really engage and get get your charts made and get a proposal up there. As soon as you make a proposal, I'll put you in a project group. Um, but until then, you should be finding that project. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll check in next week with how it's going. Hope you all enjoy the sunny weather we're having at the moment. I'm sure it won't last. Cheers.